portion of today because this is our fashionably fit experience, continuing the conversation about fashion and health and eating right and doing right and looking right and all of that great stuff. And so at this time, I'm going to turn it over to a friend and brother who's also a part of the um, Boys into Men team for the Cedarmore Corporation. He has been a part of us for at least the last 5 years. His name is Fred P. Bannon. He is the CEO of Bannon Enterprise and Conversations with King, a platform created to help develop boys into men and men into servant leaders of impact and influence. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Fred, and he's going to talk to us about dressing our mind.
Am I coming through?
Now you are. Yes. Good.
Okay. I just had to switch mics. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. Hello, everybody. I am excited to be here. Before I start anything, I just want to say a very great thank you to the two gentlemen that went before me. It was very excellent. You got Brother Eric up in the morning at 41 years old doing workout. He's about to pull his toe out. But just for the young people that's on the line, I want to first acknowledge you, right? Because 80% of success is showing up. The fact that you were here on a Saturday morning at 12 noon, is about to be 12:30, 1 o'clock right now, you are 80% ahead of your peers. And that is worth acknowledgement. Because a lot of times people register for stuff, people say they want to succeed in life, they want to do something, but they don't show up. And you can never get the information if you don't show up. And so you need to get the information so you can be able to apply it. So I just definitely want to acknowledge you. I want you to know that you are loved. I want you to know that you're cared for, because you have people who have taken times out from the morning, from their family, to spend time with you, to invest into your future. So so I'm excited about that. This is always a pleasure. Like Dexter said, I'm a fan of a Conversation with Kings. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not going to get into a lot of, my story. I'll tell you a lot about myself. If you want to reach out and learn more about me, we can. But I want to be a steward of this time. And this is an opportunity to impart into our young kings, our young brothers. So I want to take full advantage of that. Dexter, do I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So just give me a moment. We're going to get right into here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. So the session is called Dressing Your Mind. So I'm going to share a simple truth, a simple principle with you guys, that if you really grasp it, it has the potential to change your life. It's a simple truth. I don't want you to discount it because of the simplicity of it. Sometimes we try to complicate life, but oftentimes the secret in life is found in simplicity. It's a simple truth. And that truth is this: the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your mind. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your mind. So we are talking about dressing the mind. We are talking about being fashionably fit. You have, desires and dreams. You want to get in the best shape of your life. You want to be able to dress to impress. So when you step out on the job interview or whatever you're going on, you want to put your best foot forward. However, all of that comes down and is driven by what's going on up here. The thoughts that you think about yourself, the ideas that you have about yourself, your self-concept, the vision that you have for your life. The quality of those things is going to determine how you move forward. So just a quick story. Back in high school, so for those on here who don't know me personally, and I was born in Liberia. At the age of 5, a civil war started in Liberia, and it lasted for 13 years. I lived in Liberia 11 of those 13 years. So a lot of the things that we see on TV, like war stories or things you see in Iraq and Syria, you know, you watch it on the news. I lived it. I was in that environment, you know, so you can imagine, and I'm not going to get into details, but you can imagine what it does to a young person. So when I came to the States in high school, you know, there was an adjustment period. I excel in school, I excel in sports. However, trying to assimilate, trying to just fit in, not necessarily by peer pressure, but just to fit in with the culture and the change that was happening. I was very confident in myself because I knew my abilities. But the stories that I told myself, and this is the thing, because we all have stories that we tell ourselves, was about my accent. I knew I was intelligent. I knew I was capable. My grades reflected that. My performance on the soccer field, on the basketball court reflected that. But when it came to communicating, I knew I was a great communicator, but I often shy away because the thoughts that I had in my mind, I was like, oh, people won't understand me. People, you know, because of my accent, you know, what I'm saying is not being said with clarity. But that wasn't the truth because everybody that I communicated with understood me very clearly, but this was in my mind. So the same thing that happens with all of us, we all have stories that we tell ourselves. So that's why I said the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your mind. But once I realized and I got the insight that, listen, everybody has an accent. It's just a matter of where you are in the world. If you're an American, you go to London, you become the person with the accent. If you're a Jamaican, you come to America, you become the person with the accent. So wherever the dominant culture is, that's where it rules. So now you say, what does this have to do with dressing the mind? It's how we think about our life, it's how we think about ourselves, it's how we think about our situation. So went through, like I said, 11 years of civil war. I came to the States, I had the opportunity to do a TED Talk, and I tell people all the time, my advantage, the atrocities that I have gone through in life is actually my advantage. The adversities in life has become my advantage. So it's all about how you view those things. It's all about the meaning that you give to it and the perspective, the lens through which you view it. So we have the opportunity here now. This is beyond fitness. This is the main point I want to get to you. We are talking about, it's beyond fashion, right? Because we are people, we're a trichotomy. What that means is we're made out of three parts. We have a body, we have a soul, and we have a spirit. The essence of who we are spirit beings. We have a soul and we live in a body. And it's very important, it's very paramount that we take care of those three realms, those three divisions of our lives. If you are lacking in one of them, it affects the entire quality of your life. You have lack of balance in your life. So if your spirit man is the essence of you, you definitely want to make sure you have a routine and you have a practice that caters to the development of your spirit man. Same things go with your soul. Same things go with your body. So, and I just don't want to say these things and not give you practical insight on how to have this, or to execute on this. So for example, taking care of your spirit man. Meditation is good. Prayer is good. What I do in the morning, get up in the morning, I read my Bible because I'm a man of faith. I sit down, I meditate. And how does meditation looks? Sometimes people think it's crazy. Is this like woo-woo thing? No, you just sit there, just still your mind. Because there's so many noise that's happening around us. And the person who can still the mind and really clear the thoughts and really think clearly and strategically about the future, you get a leg up. So you just sit down, find a quiet place. You just sit down. You can turn on music if you like, and just follow your breathing. Right before while the two brothers were speaking, while I was sitting here, I was meditating. It don't got to take 30 minutes. It don't got to take 5 hours. Just like Brother Eric said, you got to start somewhere, right? It's a practice. It's all about development. It's all about progression and progress. So you grow. So you start 2 minutes. You just sit there and you follow your breathing. You progress to 5, just like you would do push-up. You do 10, good. You do 20 the next week or 2 weeks later, that's how you progress. You have to watch what it is that you take in, the music that you listen to, the people that you listen to, the friends that you associate with. All of that is affecting the quality of your mind. All of that is affecting the quality of your thoughts, because the predominant environment that you're in, the conversations that you are having, is going to affect how you feel emotionally. So our thoughts drives our emotions, and our emotion drives our actions. So before it can get into action, it's going through two phases, two previous phases. You already thought about it, you already felt it, and now you enacted it. You cannot act on something that you did not think about. And so and definitely your emotions also too, depending on how you view a situation. Like I said, you can look at one situation, two people can look at a situation, and one person can see, oh, the sky is falling. And the other person can see, oh, wow, this is interesting. Just that, this is interesting. Because now you look back, because there are things that you can control, and there are things that you cannot control. So you try to focus on the things that you can control. And the other stuff that you cannot control, you pray about it, or you just let it be, because you cannot control. You want to live life based on principles and not based on emotion. Emotions are good servants, but terrible leaders. So you want to be able to leverage your emotions. So here's the thing. We're talking about fitness. We're talking about fashion. All of that, you have to develop a vision for your life on how you want it to look like. And Brother Eric can attest to this, and other gentlemen who, forgive me, brother, who was talking about, eating right. You have to have a vision. This is how I want my body to look. And now you have to not just stay there. So, and it has to be compelling. It has to be the thing that gets you up in the morning when you're feeling tired, when you had a long day, but you say, you know what? There's something in the future that I see clearly that I want. So I'm willing to put in the time. The actions that we do today will determine our future. So you create that vision for your life, and then you create a plan. So I call it GPS, right? You have a goal. That's the G. You have a goal, and you have a plan, and then you have to start. Because what good is a plan if you don't start? You could put gas in the car, you could put the directions in the destination in the GPS, but if you don't turn on the engine and drive, doesn't matter. So those are the things. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. So you want to have a vision for your life. You want to know, and that vision has to be yours. So many people are living and reflecting the thoughts and opinions of everybody around them, because they're not thinking for themselves, because they haven't sat down and realized, what is it that I want? How do I want my life to look like? What type of fitness, what type of health do I want to be in? What type of lifestyle do I want to live? What the clothes that I wear? What message do I want it to communicate when I step out into the streets? We all have a reputation. We all have a brand. And your message, the clothes that you wear, the food that you eat, the body that you have, your physical health, it all has to be in congruence. It all has to be in alignment with whatever it is that you're professing. Because if it's not in alignment, you're lying, and people will not perceive you like you think they are. There are some things I get calls to come into some spaces that I personally didn't lobby for, if you will, but because people see me and they see how I carry myself and they associate certain things, certain quality with me, they'll bring me into the spaces. It might be to them unintentional. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me, because this is the vision that I have for my life. This is how I want to show up in the world. I want to show up as my full self. I want to serve at the highest level, and I want to be at my best. I tell people you have to elevate to excellence. And all of that starts with your mind. I'm an engineer by trade. Outside of my business that I do with mentoring and coaching men, I'm an engineer, civil and construction. Tell people the most important part of a building, engineering principle, the most important part of a building is its foundation. You can have a beautiful building, a cathedral with picture window or stained glass windows, and you have the east wing and you have the west wing. A storm can come. It can blow off the roof. You can repair the roof. Somebody can egg the window, break the window. You can repair the window. But if that building, if that house has a crack in the foundation, depending on how bad the crack is, that entire building, no matter if it's worth 20 billion or $1 million, it will be condemned. If the foundation has a crack in it, the entire building will be condemned. It's deemed unlivable, uninhabitable. How does that relate to our lives? Our foundation has to be solid. You have goals, you have dreams, you have vision for your life. It has to be built on character. It has to be built on integrity. It has to be built on honesty. These are the things that's going to uphold you as you move forward in your life. It says your gift will make room for you, but your character will keep you in the room. Because people, you can fool people by your gifts and your talents, but once they get to know you, once you get close to them, it's just like, what are you really about? So it's not just really about your gifts, because that's the thing. You cannot brag about your gift. You cannot brag about your talent because you didn't do nothing for it. It was a gift. God gave it to you freely. It's a gift. But what you can brag about is your effort. What you can brag about is your hard work. What you can brag about is the time and energy that you put into something that you predetermined that you want to do. That's the simple definition for success. It's not amassing money in order that everybody defines what success is for themselves. But the most basic definition for success is you accomplish a predetermined goal. So I set out to lose 20 pounds and I did the actions necessary to lose 20 pounds. I'm successful. But here's the thing. The joy is not in losing the 20 pounds or getting at the end where you got the 20 pounds. The joy is in the journey, because that's where you learn about yourself. That's where you learn how you respond to stress. That's how you learn when life throws you a curveball, how you respond. Because life is not linear. I tell people you have to embrace the crooked path, because the path to success is up and down, back and forward. It's like an arrow. Sometimes you got to take 2 steps backwards, like you're pulling back before you can be launched forward. But you have to engage in the process. So that's why I started off by acknowledging and commending the young men and everybody who took the time to be on here this morning. And that's another thing. And I understand this corona. I'm not going to get on the soapbox for this, but not just showing up, but being present. So what does that mean? You show as your best self. You come on, we're on the platform. We want to see your face, because we don't have the opportunity. Normally we will have this in person. There's a connection that happens in person that you cannot duplicate. But we thank God for technology. We get to leverage this platform. But when you show up, show your face. Let people know I'm here. I'm present. I'm showing myself, flaws and all, because we all have flaws. But it's your flaws that connect us all, because as human beings, it's not about perfection. It's about flaws, because we understand the human journey, the struggle is our imperfection that connects us. You realize, oh, Brother Eric can do it. Brother Dexter can do it. Brother Christopher can do it. I could do it too, because he's a man just like me. He put his pants on one leg at a time. He brushes his teeth in the morning just like I do. So you got to show up. You got to be present. So again, it's nothing. No, I'm just acknowledging you to do that. So I wanted to share this also too, as I mentioned, so the quality of your thinking, right? The ideas you have for your life, the vision, your self-concept, the worth that you give to yourself, the meaning, because it doesn't matter what I think about you. It does. You know, I love people, so I think highly of everybody, because when I look at people, I see potential. But potential is unrealized power. It comes to a point where we have to stop talking about potential and we have to stop talking about productivity. Because you can have the potential, but if you don't put in the work, it's just going to be potential. You know, one of my greatest mentors, I didn't have the pleasure to meet him, but he's had one of the most indelible impact on my life with Dr. Miles Monroe. He said, the one place on earth where is the wealthier place is the graveyard. Because in the graveyard, you have people with unrealized dreams, people who have books within them, but they never wrote it. People who have poems in them, music in them, ideas, businesses that could change the world and impact culture and change generation. but it became unrealized simply because they didn't take the action, simply because they didn't put in the discipline to discipline their disappointments, because life is full of disappointments, but it's all learnings, right? It depends how you look at it, perception and perspective, the meaning that you give to it. I went through 11 years of civil war. What does it mean? Am I not worthy? I'm absolutely unworthy, you know, because of what I've gone through. Things happen in my life and how I respond. People be like, yo, Fred, what's wrong with you? Like, why they don't let that bother you? I'm like, listen, I've looked death in the eye so many times and I'm here. And you think a trivial thing gonna move me? My faith grounds me. I've been in car accidents where I shouldn't have walked out. Once a State Parkway, state trooper came, pulled me out of the car, looked at me and just like, young man, somebody is watching over you. And I'm here. And I had a lady who called the cops, came to the hospital, and she walked in my room. She said, listen, you shouldn't be here. There's obviously something that you're meant to do, something on your life. Somebody's watching over you. That's what you're here. Don't waste your life. After I got out of the ICU, the ER, I went back to take flowers just to thank her. The people told me, oh, nobody, Nassau Community Hospital, nobody by that name works here. Was it an encounter with an injury? I don't know. But I do know that, you know, I'm alive. And the fact that all of us is on this line, we're all breathing, we have life, it means that there's purpose. When you want to realize your purpose, just put your hand on your heartbeat. If you're breathing this purpose, then your job is to find it. Your job is to find it, and for you to develop those skills, the gift, the talents, because we all have them. It comes in seed form, and then you have to serve it to the world. And that's what we're doing here, right? So information is necessary. The key to life is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Simple. Knowledge is the information. You don't get the information until you show up. You know, the Bible, my favorite book, and I don't know everybody believes on here, but I'm very unapologetic about my faith, because I got to tell you, if you know my life story, the details of it, you realize that for me, I'm only here by the grace of God. So I'm unapologetic regardless of what room I'm in. I don't put my faith or press a light on anybody. I don't try to make anything of you. I just share my testimony. I share my life story. Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. If it costs you anything, in all you're getting, get understanding. So here's the link. Wisdom is the principal thing. If it costs you anything, get understanding, because everything that you don't understand, you don't have the right to it. Somebody can snatch it away from you. So you need to get the information. You need to show up to get the information. We're talking about dressing your mind. You cannot dress your mind. You cannot develop the quality of your thinking if you don't have the information. Because two things is going to change your mind. The books that you read, in 5 years from now, you're going to be in the same place for except two things: the books that you read and the people that you associate with. Because your network expands your possibility. It challenges you, it expands your worldview, it brings you into new environment and exposes you to different things and new information. So you need the information, that's knowledge. Comprehension is understanding. You need to understand how the information works. And wisdom is the skillful or the rightful application of that information, right? So you cannot apply something skillfully and correctly if you don't understand it. So that's the three things: wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You got experts on the line here. Brother Eric and our other brother, forgive me, sir, who from Better Society, Better You, Better Society, who was telling us about eating right. They have the information. I'm about to connect to them because I want to be in my optimal health. You know, brothers losing what? I mean, I don't need to lose weight. My goal, I need to bulk up a little bit. I think me and Dexter is in the same shoe, but I don't know what he's talking about losing weight. That's his own plight, right? But they are experts and we can learn from them. So you come to them, bro, okay, this is the diet, right? But how do I apply it to get the optimum result in my life? Because the information is incorruptible, the information is correct, but you're not paying for information. I tell people, when you come on these Zoom lives, or when you go to conferences and workshops, catch this. And if you catch this, I bet you and I guarantee you it's going to change your life. You're not paying for information. We live in the information age. What you're paying for or what you are really associating with people for is for insight. Because you can Google anything. If I had a lock with combination right now, I can give you the combination. But if you don't know the correct sequence, you still cannot open the lock. That's the insight. The information is 1, 2, 3, 4 is the combination. But the insight is 4, 3, 2, 1 is to unlock it. If you don't know that 4, 2, 3, 1, it does you no good. So that's where you want to associate with experts and coaches and people who have traveled the road that you're looking to do. And you ask them, you inquire, how did you get there? What can I do? How can you help me? So, and what it does, it opens up your mind to new possibilities, to new realities. When I'm in the room, I try to ask questions, I try to listen, because I would take a good question any day over a good answer. Why? Because questions are keys that unlock the possibilities of new worlds. Question. Don't try to be the smarter person in the room. Don't try to impress nobody with your knowledge, because everything that you know, everything that you're speaking, you already know. So you're not growing when you're talking, but when you're listening. That's why they said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. 2 ears and 1 mouth. When you're listening and you're getting new information, new insight, things that challenge your worldview, things that challenge your ideas, your vision, that helps you to really get clarity on it. It's like fuel that you put it in your engine. So here's what it does. So how many of you, and I want you to put it in the chat, right? How many of you have ever seen the FedEx logo? You know, I like to engage, but I understand just sometimes the limitation. But here's the thing, the FedEx logo, some people on here might know, some people might not. What do you see that's blaring difference? Do you see the arrow in the logo? Do you see the arrow? I'm gonna give you 2 minutes, and then because I can see the comments from sharing my screen. But do you see? Let me. Oh, there you go. The comments. Great. So here's the thing. There's an arrow in our logo. You might look right now. Some people might see it. Some people can't. This is why you need to be in the room. This is why you need to get the information. This is why you need to be around on platform like this, things that's going to expand your mind and point out things that are in plain sight to you, but because you don't know yet, so you're lacking. Because people are not smarter than you, young king, young man. You're brilliant. But just there are some things, your counterparts, your white counterparts who may have had some opportunities in life that you haven't been afforded with. He's not more brilliant than you. He just had more opportunity, and he's been given some information, and he's been, shown some things that you haven't yet. So you see, skill and talent is universal. Opportunity is not. That's where you have some people. Me and my wife, we travel the world. We go speak. We go do charitable work. We serve through our foundation. We go places, and I see some brilliant and talented and resourceful young people, but they don't have the same opportunity that some people in the States have. And if they did, their life would excel and take off exponentially, right? So this is what happens. Now, do you see the arrow? It was right there in plain sight. You see it's highlighted. On the bottom, it's highlighted in gray. So if you were looking at the previous one, it's probably difficult to see, but until I pointed it out, you may have never seen it. That's the same thing in your life. There are some things that you want to accomplish. There are some goals that you have, but you have people right in your circle who travel a little bit, and they can point out some things to you and tell you, hey, I've been down this road. I can help you compress decades into days simply by telling you, young man, there's a ditch around the corner. Because when I went there, I fell. I don't want you to fall if I went. The knowledge that I have gained, I want you to stand on my shoulder. I want you to compress time. I want you to tell you, oh no, there's a better way. Just because something has been done for years a certain way doesn't mean there's not a better way. in life, you always want to look for leverage. You always want to look for the advantage. And what that means, it's not trying to shortchange. It's not trying to take shortcuts. It's not trying to scam people. But it means you want to look for your greatest, your point of greatest leverage. Archimedes, a great Greek, said that, give me a lever and give me a place on the earth to stand, and I can move the globe. Give me a lever and a solid place on the earth to stand. I can move the entire earth. He was talking about leverage. Once you have a place of leverage, you can move things. Utilize your network. Utilize this community of boys into men. Get engaged into everything that we're doing here so that you can leverage your life and you can make some mistakes that we have made. And even I have mentors and I mentor. That's the thing in your life. You got to always be a mentor. You got to be, as you climb, you want to lift. You want to be looking at people, pour into people, but you also want to be in an environment that's challenging you to grow as well. Right? So that's the FedEx logo right there. It's in plain sight if you don't see it. So now for the young man, when you wake up in the morning, just a practical way, like I said, you want to create a compelling vision for your life, how you want your life to look. You have to think with the end in mind, right? Engineering principle, nothing is built until it's on the plans, it's developed already, it's on paper. And then we go to work building it. Same thing in your life. You have to have that vision in your life, in your head, and then you get to it on paper. That's the plan, and you execute it. But the action does nothing because the mind is the engine of your life. The mind is what drives it. So the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. That's the big idea I want you to take away. So when you encounter hardships, when you encounter challenges, or even when you encounter joyful moments, allow life to touch you. Emotions is what drives life. The highs and the lows, emotional colors life. You want life to touch you. And unfortunately, because of within our community, we've experienced some traumatic situation, it has robbed us from rightfully and intelligently, identifying and connecting with our emotions. So you want to do the work to become emotionally intelligent. More than intellectually intelligent, you want to become emotionally intelligent, because everything business on its highest level, you're just dealing with people. If you know how to connect with people, if you know how to connect with their desires and wants, you will want nothing, because you will be able to move people, and people will give you the advantage because you know what, this person cared. It's just not transactional, it's relational. So develop that ability to do. So it's your mind. So how do you dress your mind? So these are some takeaways. Find moments where you get still. You got to meditate. In the beginning of your day, set your intentions. Because life is about being intentional. Listen, you can grow a beautiful weed garden, not marijuana, weeds, right? Weeds. You can grow a beautiful weeds garden without any effort. You just leave it; it's going to grow. It don't require anything, and it's not even a garden. It's just a field. But if you want to grow a beautiful garden that people can marvel at when they look, it's going to take intention. It's going to require you getting up in the morning and watering it. It's going to require you, tilling the ground. It's going to require you, pulling out the weeds from amongst the right flowers or plants, whatever it is. It's going to require effort. So you want to be intentional. So in the morning you get up, have a devotion, connect with your Creator, because He got purpose and plans for your life. He got desires. Here's the thing. You are a solution to a problem within your generation. That's your purpose. You are a solution to a problem within your generation. Now, your job is to find out what is the problem that I am meant to solve, that I've already been equipped with the gifts and the talents to solve. Now, those gifts and abilities and talents were given to you in seed form, just like the oak tree is very present in the acorn, but it has to go through the process, right? So your solution, the creators of this iPhone, before they created this iPhone, they already knew that there's a problem in the marketplace that they wanted the iPhone to be a solution for. And they created the iPhone. And here's the beautiful thing, and that's where you don't got to worry. Your life will tell you what it is that you're supposed to do. Activity always follows identity. So get to know who you are first. And the activities, and then you'll be able to do the right activities. So the creators of the iPhone, because they knew the problem that you wanted to solve, they equipped the iPhone with the ability to respond to that problem, right? This iPhone cannot drive because it wasn't meant to drive. It was meant to connect people. So they give the ability to be able to make phone calls, to send text, to get onto the internet. All of that is already inputted in, into this device. The same thing with our lives. So in the morning, take some time, do your devotion, meditate, and even during the day, set your intentions, write down your goals. And you don't got to start crazy. Start small. Dream high, big, but start small, because it's about habits. It's about habits. It's about habits. You become a slave to your habits, right? But your habits will determine will determine your future. So that's what you do. You set your intention. And at the end of the day, yes, sir. And at the end of the day, Karina, I see you. And at the end of the day, take some time, reflect on your day, journal. How was today? How did you feel? Because we talk about dressing the mind. We talk about fitness. Today I feel energetic. Today I feel empowered. Today I feel inspired. Today I feel down. I feel confused. I feel perplexed. I just couldn't get it together today, man. Like I was just discombobulated today. You write those things down. You journal your thoughts, and you ask yourself a question. You inquire of yourself, why am I feeling like this? Because here's the thing about what you look at. When you change the way you look at something, that thing will change. Because the thing that you're looking at, the situation may not change, but your perspective, your outlook on it changes. So when you change your perspective, when you change your viewpoint, your vantage point of how you're looking at something and the meaning that you give to it, the emotion that you feel about that thing changes. And then it empowers you. That's why I tell people, when I look at my life or when situations happen in my life, I give it an empowering meaning. This is an opportunity this is a good challenge. Like life, we're men, we're kings on this line, and there's some queens on this line too. It's the challenge of life that brings out the manhood in you. So don't run from challenge. Run to challenge. David ran to Goliath. You're trying to become a king. You're trying to get on your throne, but you're running away from problems. No, that is your gateway to the throne where you can solve problems, right? So you set your intentions. You reflect at the end of the day, how did your day go? And also in the morning, say some affirmations to yourself. I am lovable. I am worthy. I'm confident. I'm capable. I'm a king. I'm a man of character. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a problem solver. I add value. Whatever environment that I enter, it becomes better because of my presence. You say these things, and people might think it's crazy, but I'm telling you, your words create your future. You start to see it clearly, and you say it long enough, and it goes both ways. We got, and I'm not going to get political, but you got things happen. They tell you, you tell a lie long enough, with confidence, people start to believe it like it's true. You speak life over yourself long enough, you start to embody it. It's not fake it till you make it. No, it's you speaking it into existence, but that's empty if you don't do the work. Right. So that means you say, I'm lovable, but then when situations come to become lovable, you choose to be lovable. Because this is you taking control of your life. So dress your mind is important because the quality of your thinking will determine the quality of your life. Everything flows on your thought. Your thought life, it manifests your reality. So we want to be able to walk in a room where we have presence. And we got two incredible brothers who's going to come after me and going to tell you about dressing for success. You saw the program, and dressing for the night. And all that doesn't matter. You can have the best brand name on you, but if you don't feel good about yourself, it doesn't matter. What makes you attractive is your confidence. What makes you attractive It's the power that you possess when you walk in the room. You said to yourself, I belong, because you know what? You do belong. That's what makes it attractive. It's not the brand name on you. It's not the brand name on you. It's about fit. That's why I love the name Fashionably Fit, because just even a one tip, and I'm not going to get to the other people presentation, but even when you're dressing, when you're trying to wear a suit, whatever, the most important thing is not the brand name of the suit, it's the fit. Because you can have a $200 suit when it's tailored right, it fits your body right. It could look like $1,000 suit. And you can have a $1,000 suit that if it doesn't fit you correctly, it could look like a $50 suit. So the same thing, the quality of your mind. If your thinking is proper, if your thinking is fitted right, like the vision that you have for your life, the thoughts and ideas and how you view yourself, if it's fitted right, if it's oriented in the right position, when you walk out in the street, you just exude confidence and you attract people. People want to be associated with you. People want to be around you. So very important. Take care of your mind, take care of your soul, take care of your spirit. Remember, we are a triune being, trichotomy. We have 3 parts of ourselves: your spirit, your soul, and your body. You want to take care of each of those. That's why I love what we're doing here today, because we are affecting all 3 levels.
Absolutely.
So, Brother Dexter, I'm going to turn it over to you. I thank you for your time.
Appreciate you. Thank you once again for joining us and being with us. Dressing our mind. It is vitally important to dress our mind. That is the first thing that we should dress every morning as we get up and start our day. So thank you so much, Fred, for that.